So this is an introduction to slab construction, which is a way that you can make certain things with ceramics. There's two types of slab construction. There's soft slab and hard slab. So the soft slab construction is where you're using plastic clay and it's still formable, so you can take a slab and work it around a form, etc. And there's hard slab construction where you have a slab that is already leather hard. This thing doesn't really bend that much. It's leather hard already, and you can take different pieces of hard slabs after they've gone leather hard and connect them together to make a box or a candle holder or whatever. But today we're going to be making an ancient timepiece called a sundial, and this will keep accurate time if we keep a couple things in mind. First of all, a little bit about the anatomy of a sundial. There's basically two parts. There's the gnomon and the dial, and this is the first time I've ever done this, so I'm not sure how I'm going to decorate my dial yet, but I'll probably have some kind of numbering or some kind of marks to mark the hours of the day. And you'll notice that there is a surface on the gnomon called the style, and that style needs to be the same amount of degrees as our latitude. And here in Kersey we're about 40.3 degrees, so 40 degrees is good enough. This is a 40-degree angle, so if you just imagine a 45-degree angle and then just make it a little bit more acute, so you can look at it here, you can check it out on the internet, or if you have a protractor at home, you can get really accurate. So to start the slab, I've got this ball of clay, and I'm just going to hit it against the newspaper, turn it over, hit it again, and repeat that to where it starts to become flattened out and more of a slab. Once it gets maybe an inch thick, I'm going to grab a rolling pin and roll it, and then I'm going to flip it and roll it, and notice every time I flip it over and I turn it 90 degrees. So what I'm doing there is flipping it and turning it 90 degrees. That way I can get a nice round slab. So this is going to be the dial. I'm going to try to keep this as round as possible. Now, this piece for the gnomon, I've already done some cuts, but I want to show you how to cut through that slab without messing up the clay and making weird burrs and things like that on the edges. As you cut through and remove pieces, basically you're going to stage the cut. So I've gone through this a couple times, and now I'm going to take the butter knife, and I've got the serrated side up because I don't want that texture. I just cut a little bit deeper each time until I finally hit the table, and then I've got my gnomon cut out. So the way that looks, if I want to cut this slab in half, what I would do is make a line and just keep going deeper and deeper and do it in 5 or 6 stages until it's cut all the way through. So then this gnomon's ready for me to grab my scoring tool and score the bottom of the gnomon and score the area on here where that belongs. Then add some water on my finger, rub it on there so it makes slip, stick it on there and press and wiggle, and then I'm going to let this whole thing kind of firm up overnight. So tomorrow at noon, I'm going to take this outside and I'm going to put this in such a way that a shadow casts straight up here at the 12 o'clock mark. And then I'm going to wait till probably about 3 p.m. and wherever the style of the gnomon is casting its shadow, I'm going to make another mark. And then the next day, about 9 a.m., I'm going to do the same thing over here. the whole time, not letting this move at all, because it's going to be oriented to noon. But what I need to do every day as I work on this is to take a plastic bag and cover this up tightly so that it doesn't dry out any more than it needs to. And that's all for today.